Coach, being a preseason favorite in the PAC again this year, what are you looking for out of your team early on in the season before the conference schedule gets underway?
Well, we want to test ourselves. I mean, I think over the last 5-6 years, we've done a pretty good job of playing a tough non-conference schedule, playing a good Florida schedule, first and foremost. Last year, I think we kind of took our lumps down there. We played Bradley, who was a Division I school, numerous other good programs, and the Florida week's a little dicey, so we just happened to see a lot of 1s and 2s on the mound, which was great. I mean, it definitely helped us for when we did get into our conference season, and I think the stretch run the last 10, 15 games of the year. So we always want to challenge ourselves on the national level without question.
Looking back at last year, before we talk about this year, with you and Thomas More both doing so well in the NCAA regional last year, what's that mean for the conference?
Well, obviously it can do nothing but gain more respect for the league in terms of the baseball success. But I think us and Thomas More, our mindsets are, we obviously the goal is to win the PAC tournament, but I think just as big of a goal is to put ourselves in position to where if we don't play well that weekend, we're in the discussion, or we're certainly up in the conversation to get an at-large bid. And I mean, for the last 5 years, either us or Thomas More has gotten the NCAA tournament via an at-large bid. So yes, we want to win the league, obviously, and everything like that. But I know kind of got a lot of attention last year, our game against them and whatnot in the NCAA tournament. But I mean, we've had a lot of battles throughout the year, so it's
36 wins last year, and you return just about all of your innings on the mound as well. 7 position starters returning, and 8 if you kind of DH. Like, what does that mean early in the season, and do you treat this year any differently because you are so experienced?
Well, the expectations are high, but they were high going into last year too. We're kind of coming off a similar type situation, had a good amount of success, a pretty high number of wins. We just didn't play as well in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago as what we did last year. So we actually won more games 2 years ago than we did last year, but it's a little bit of a different feeling because we finished the season fairly well. So as much as we want to win our league, the league is only a path to getting to the regional and that next step. And I think this year more than any, we feel confident that this could be our best team if things fall right and we get the bounces at the right time and we play well when it counts and everything like that. But our goal is to win at a national level, as it is any year. But we feel this year, with that experience we have coming back and dealing with what we did last year as well, because we kind of faced similar expectations last year. Didn't play too well the first 10, 15, 20 games, and we try to find ourselves early. I mean, we play some different guys. We're trying to find the right combinations. So we're not trying to answer questions 35 games into the year. We kind of know where we're at in that regard. But yeah, we're ready for the expectations. I mean, the older guys, the juniors and seniors, have done a great job leading things. I tell them the coaches could disappear for a month or two now, I think, and things would be fine. I mean, they'd be absolutely ready for the start of the season. That's the confidence we have in the older guys. But we'll see. We'll be ready, but we know there's going to be ups and downs throughout the year, as there always are.
And lastly, when you talk about the older guys like Eddie and Brian, I mean, Eddie has 22-1 record.
Yeah.
Brian's really done well. Pitched really well during the summer as well. Like, what does it mean to have those two guys at the top of your rotation?
Well, whenever you have anchors like that, obviously it's a huge thing. But we have other guys that maybe don't get the publicity and notice that those guys get, that I think, A, do a good job of pushing them every day, but B, have performed just as well as them at times throughout their careers as well. So you need anchors. You need guys that you can put out there and say, okay, this guy's going to give us 6 innings or 7 innings or whatever the case is. And I feel pretty confident that those guys can do that. But we have the depth we have this year, especially on the mound, it's a good problem to have. I think it's going to be a challenge to get all the guys that really deserve to pitch the innings that they probably are entitled to get.
And one more question, just about how proud are you about this senior class? I mean, they've pretty much established themselves as one of the best teams in school history already with 1 year left. Like, how how proud of you are them?
Yeah, they've grown a lot. You know, they're 11 strong right now. Definitely their first year they took their lumps, as most freshmen do. From a win-loss standpoint, that was the worst year we had, I think, in the last 10 years or so. But the lumps that those guys took and learned from their first year to the point that they've grown to now, I mean, it is a lot to be proud of. It's, you know, from my standpoint, it's why you coach and things like that. You just see guys grow and develop and, you know, things like that. So yeah, it's a pleasure to work with those guys. You definitely, I think any coach would say the same thing. You definitely know your seniors and juniors. You know, you definitely probably trust them and know them a little bit more than you do your young guys. And that's no knock on your young guys. You've been around and been through a lot more things with the older guys. And we've been through a lot together. They've grown and they work extremely hard. They really do. I mean, it's a tremendous thing. It's why I think they're in the position they're in. I think some of our best players are our best workers too. So it's the right combination of everything. But yeah, we're definitely proud of everything that they've done.